Do y'all remember a while back when Audio-Technica came out with the ATH-G1s, whether that be the wireless or the wired one? I swore by them. I recommended them in my video, and I recommended them to so many viewers. And most of those viewers always came back and said, yo man, thank you so much for this recommendation. I stinking love this headset. And to this day, I still love it. The one downfall with this headset was, well, the price range. It was up there. The wired was like 160, 170 something, and the wireless was up there above 200. It was a pricey headset. But I really feel like Audio-Technica kind of respond to that and say, hey, let's come out with a headset that everyone can afford. Talking about these guys here, they're coming in at 100 and then 130 and still packing a lot of the same stuff as we saw of the ATH-G1s, if not better. And yes, as you see, we're gonna be talking about the open back one, which is called the Air, and then the closed back, which is called the Earth. And side note here, I just love the box art. It's so cool. Again, talking about Earth with a little color there, and then with the regular box tone, it just, I don't know, just has a very elemental vibe to it. Whatever, it just looks cool. Now, something else that also looks really cool is our sponsor of this video, Uniro and their UHVO all-terrain 350 watt electric bike, featuring an LCD display that's gonna show all of your information needed from your speed, your pedal assist, your trip distance, your total mileage, your battery life. And right to the left of that, you're gonna have your thumb throttle to control your speed, but you also have pedal assist on this bike, along with 7 gears to change, controlled right by Shimano shifters. And right along with the big fat tires that can get you over and through all terrain needed, you have front suspension and rear suspension to absorb all of those bumps and ruts throughout your trail. And of course, with it being an electric bike, well, you can get range up to 30 miles. That's really depending on how much you're gonna pedal assist and how much straight throttle you're gonna be using. But now the bike is so easy to charge, just simply plug it in, or say if you go in somewhere and you want to remove your battery for safety, just simply put your key in, detach your battery, and you are good to go. No worries about losing your battery. But anyway, seriously, with the Uniro UHVO, it's so awesome because it's so capable. You can really take this thing anywhere and it's gonna be a comfortable ride with the shocks, the big tires and everything. You know, it's awesome. You can really hit the trails or just hit the pavement wherever you want. It's gonna suit both of those right there. Go check out the Uniro UHVO right down in the description below. Now, as far as in your box of both headsets, well, you're gonna get your headset, whether that be the open back or the closed back here. You're gonna get a splitter for if you're on PC, and this cable is plenty long, but it's one of those real chintzy cables. As you can see right here, you see both cables going through there, just basic rubber. Again, feels like a real cheap cable. Detachable microphone with an included windscreen, and then your 3.5 cable, say if you're just going right into controller. Now, you all know I pretty much always start with comfort, right? Because no matter how great it sounds or how great of a deal it is, we're just gonna take it off if it's not cozy, right? But talking about these headsets, I wanna talk about the styling of them. Number one, looking at the open back here, right? So you got the white. Now, this also comes in a black version as well. I just like the black and white because it just really, I don't know, just flows really nice, right? You got the white there, the black metal grates, and then into the cushions and then the headband. Same with the closed back. It just looks so sleek. It doesn't really look like a gaming headset. You know, you can use these for music, walk around the street, and they look like a pair of headphones. I think they did an awesome job with the styling here. But whatever, that's all cosmetics. How is the comfort on these headsets? And let me tell you what, starting with the ear pads here, ear pads are a little bit smaller. They really are. Let me go and get my tape measure here. You can see, well, they're plenty wide, right? Plenty long, but whenever you get in here, they get a little shallow. Now I can push down, as you see, I got some leeway right down there, but just going right to that cloth, if you can catch it in the camera, they are pretty shallow. Now coming over here to the closed back, you have different ear cushions. Nice sports material right there, pleather on the inside, pleather on the outside. If you caught it on the closed back here, they're cloth all the way around. Hopefully you can catch that in the camera right there. You got that cloth right there, and then right there, even all the way onto the inside, there is cloth. Now, yes, you can take these cushions off. This might give you a better look as well. You can see you got the cushions off and they are perfectly round circle. And take a look at the headband. Again, the same on both of them here. It is rubber. As you can see, it just flexes like that. Your adjustment is over here on the arms. They're fairly tight. When I put it on my head, it doesn't adjust, but they're not like super tight. They're easily to remove. You have some of that movement in the ear cups, in and out, and a little bit of swivel forward, and a little bit of swivel back. Not full swivel so they don't go flat. You just have that little bit right there, which is honestly enough. Now, usually I would cover the weight along with the build, but I have to throw this into comfort here, guys. Talking about the closed back, we are getting 228 grams without our wire or mic, but that is the closed back version here. Coming over to the open back, we are gonna get 220 grams. All right, so wrapping up everything I just talked about with comfort right there. It might be a little bit of a mixed bag, right? Like, not full swivel. Okay, the ear cushions might not be the best, but let me tell you what, guys, no joke, taking this headset, putting it on your head, it's like non-existent. You saw that weight right there, like, no, just putting this on my head right now, guys, it makes me incredibly just nerd out. It is so comfortable. The clamping force is definitely on the lighter side. Light, kind of right there on the medium, because it's not falling off my head, but it is loose. You see it move right there. It's perfect. I'm not getting any pressure points. I'm not getting any clamp points, right? I got a bald head, so if I take it off with that rubber headband, I don't feel it. It's perfect. It is so nice. Now, coming over to the closed back one, okay? We got different ear pads on here and everything. Obviously, it's gonna block out the sound a little bit more. And as crazy as it sounds, since the weight was not that much different, right? The closed back feels slightly heavier. Not saying that they're heavy, it's just that the open back one is so stinking light that I noticed a difference. But let me tell you what, guys, both of these headsets, holy stinking moly, they get a 110% Stinkin Cozy badge, no questions asked. All right, so Stinkin Cozy, lightweight. You're probably asking right now, yo, Techne, they're looking like a lot of plastic. How is that durability? And yeah, you're seeing a lot of plastic, right? Going from our forks into our ear cups, plastic on plastic. This grate is metal, but whatever, that's not touching any primary points, right? Going up into here is plastic, and then up into our arm adjustment is plastic right there. Now our adjustment point is metal, and then our headband up here is metal, even underneath that. Then again, this down here is just rubber. So when I take this headset and I stretch it out, guys, I'm not a single bit worried right now, not at all. When I twist it up, I'm really not worried. Again, it's gonna adjust easy on those points right there, but what does worry me is, say like a drop. If you take this and catches on your chair and flings off, again, some of our key points are plastic, and the plastics feel like, well, plastics. It's not this extra premium plastic or something. It's not this cheap plastic. It's just right here as plastic. So again, with the key point being right in that joint, and then into our ear cups right there, with it being so lightweight, I feel like that's where the weight is, and that's gonna take the brunt of the force if they fall, and we might have issues there over time. I'm not sure. That's just me speculating. But again, all in all, the build out of the box, it feels solid to me. It really does feel solid. So features and functions on both headsets. Again, the exact same. You got your microphone mute, active right there. It's just a click. No tone in the headset. Again, just a clicky button. You have your volume wheel, bottoms out at the lowest, tops out at the highest, and it's really tucked in there. Hopefully you guys can catch it in the camera. It's tucked in there big time. So if you're sitting back on a couch or a chair, you're never gonna get those accidental rolls in there because it's a small wheel and it is tucked into the frame. You have where your cable is gonna plug in here with your detachable cable, and then your detachable microphone. So as you saw right there, yes, we do have a detachable cable. Very cool. But when I take this headset, put it on my head, and I'm sitting at my gaming chair or whatever, or you can see a little bit right now, right? If I put my head down, bam, that cable is hitting right into my shoulder. Now that's gonna be different for people, maybe got a longer neck than me or something, but you know, if it's shorter or something, this cable kind of comes down and you got that long little extension, and bam, it goes right into my shoulder. So when I'm sitting at my computer desk, I tend to slouch a little bit, right? And bam, that thing's just always digging into my shoulder right there. That's a bit of a stinker. I wish that was a little bit shorter, or maybe just in a little bit of a different location, because that does poke me. Let's talk about this sound now. We have some differences here, guys. Again, we got the closed back and we got the open back. As far as core stats, they're both the exact same. 45mm drivers, frequency range of 10 to 35,000. And yeah, they both connect right by 3.5. So you can work on every single platform, any device, of course, if you got a 3.5 port. Now, talking about the core sound of both of these headsets, I'm gonna have to really kind of break it apart and kind of jump here and there about open and closed, because it is significantly different in both of these headsets here. But I wanna start with the closed back, because that's gonna give us kind of that core experience of the soundstage right here, okay? So using this headset right out of the box, it was definitely a warmer experience. Exact same as we call with the ATH-G1s if you watch that review. It's a little bit warmer compared to a lot of traditional Audio-Technica headphones, which they definitely have a little bit more highs, and you kind of balance out down here at the bottom. This guy was definitely warm. I'm not saying there's more bass, I'm saying there's more mids, and the mids kind of creeped into the highs a little bit, right? Now, I'm not talking muddy, right? Don't get that vibe from me. But again, it was definitely a fuller experience. Okay, so I'm playing Halo and everything, and at first, it took me a second to adjust. It really did, because I usually use more highs, right? And this headset was definitely, I caught more of the fullness of, say, a footstep or a grenade or something like that, the spanker going off in Halo. I definitely caught that, right? If I'm playing something that was more environment, like, say, Battlefield or, Elder Scrolls, something like that, New World, it was more full, and it kind of made like that wind and the shuffling of the foliage a little more full. Hopefully that makes sense and you kind of catch me right there, right? You still had your highs, you still got that detail, but those mids were definitely prominent in the closed back. Okay, so we'll probably bounce back and forth here a little bit, but let's talk about the open back. I still had that over here, okay? I still had it being full, definitely. The mids were still there prominent, okay? I still had that core sound I had over here, but it was distant. Being open back, it let it breathe a little bit more. One thing I hate with headphones and headsets, you all hear me say it in so many videos, I've made standalone videos for it. No, open back headphones do not give you a competitive edge. They just don't. I'm sorry. I know everyone wants to, go against that, but they just don't. Right? And talking about this headset, this is one thing I've heard. A lot of people complain about the audio in Halo. The audio in Halo is stinking fantastic. It's about what headset you're using. That goes for every single game. And talking about using this one, the open back in Halo, I had to take them off. I played so bad. The footsteps were muffled. They were distant. I couldn't hear them. The grenades sound like it was so bad playing a competitive game with this headset, because you had those mids overtaking everything that were full, but then it's all bleeding out of there, so I'm losing all of my detail. It was bad, guys. Flip that around. Go into some like Elder Scrolls or talk about New World, something like that. This was fun. Listening to videos and stuff, right? It was clear. It's like I was there. Exactly like I stated in so many of my other open back versus closed back headphone videos, headset videos, whatever, that's what it's geared towards. And it was awesome. I felt like I was in that environment. I was watching some of my videos, watching some other YouTube videos. I felt like I was sitting in a room with the person talking right there. It was awesome. The foliage was natural. The wind was natural. The voice dialogue was natural. Hopefully that makes sense on both of these headsets. Again, you have that core sound over here on this, which rolls into this, but it's breathing a little bit more. So if you're playing first-person shooters, don't even consider this. Do not. Trust me. If you're considering first-person shooters, I'd go with this route over here. You know what I mean? This feels like a more complete package than this. This feels like, it's geared just towards this. This over here, I feel like you're going to be able to take advantage of all this a little bit more. Now, one other side note here, again, talking about these headphones, which will differ for some people, is I just felt like they didn't get that loud. These headsets are actually running off 45 ohms. Which is kind of weird for a gaming headset. Most gaming headsets, SteelSeries, Razer, whatever, you can see them running at 30 ohms. Ohms, by the way, is how much it takes to push your headphones or headset right there, right? And again, most gaming headsets are at 32. So you can crank them up and get really nice and loud. These being at 45, they got loud, but I wasn't able to peak that. And sometimes I wanted to really just make my head vibrate and just, plummet that sound in there. And I couldn't get that. So I plugged it into my amp, fired it up a little bit, and then it really came to life. Plugging it into the controller, playing Forza and stuff, again, yeah, it was loud, but I couldn't get it to that extra push that I wanted. Sometimes I wanted that extra immersion, that crackling of the exhaust in Forza or something like that. I wanted to crank it up a little bit more. And it just wasn't there because these are pushing at 45 ohms. All right, so how is the microphone on this headset? That is exactly what you are hearing right now. Again, the microphone's detachable and it has the included windscreen, which we're going to keep on it right there. Plenty moldable, and it's not right in front of my face, which I really like. But again, detachable, so if you never use it, you can just take it off right there. It's a little dinky microphone. It really is small, but again, it gets the job done, and your mute switch is on the back. Now, I'm not going to test the microphone on both of them because, again, they both are the exact same. But like I've always stated, with these being open back, you're going to be able to hear yourself talking a little bit more. Kind of think about it as voice, the feedback, right? The side tone, because you're going to be able to hear yourself a lot more. other than hollering when the sound's closed off like this. But all in all, this is the microphone on the new Audio-Technica. What are they called again? Hold on, ATH-GDLs. All right, so let's go and talk about that mic test right there. I just listened to a playback, and it was kind of weird. It's a mixed bag for sure, because the core microphone sounded good. Now, it caught up and picked up a little bit of background noise. I got that big light over there running with a fan. I personally kind of heard that hum in the background, very mild, but I heard it, right? But the biggest thing that caught my attention is the noise from this wire. Again, this wire's a little thicker and it's coming down, so it's hitting me right there. Whenever I'm moving, bam, it's hitting. And I heard that slight little kind of ping radiation going through it. So again, it's mixed. Like the mic sounded good, but there's these other variables in it that are kind of meh. All right, so what do we think about the new Audio-Technica gaming headsets, the ATH-GDLs? Right? I never remember these model names. But anyways, as far as these Audio-Technica headsets, talking the open and closed, the open back is coming in at 130, the closed is coming in at 100. So I love what they're doing right here, making their headsets a little more accessible to more people out there rather than someone having to jump off and spend $200. I love it. The build, I love it. The comfort, I absolutely love it. Now the microphone, again, it's a little bit of a mixed bag right there. And talking about a mixed bag, that's almost what these headsets are. You're going to have to be the one to cycle through. Like, do I want that in the open back one? Do I want that in the closed back one? Is that the build and comfort I'm looking for? You know, am I okay with that microphone? It's really a good headset. That's where I'm going to put it. It's a good headset. Is it great? Is it the best? No. What is the best at $100? I don't know. That might make for a good video, actually. You know what I mean? Subscribe, hit the bell, and hopefully I catch you in the next one. Bye now.